Are you agreeable all the time because you want people to like you? Are you a workaholic and neglect your family, friends and emotional well-being? You need to watch this video to find out why, and why it's not a good idea. Hey guys, welcome to another Archetype Explained series from Mastermind Content. I'm Richard Oldale, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Everyman Archetype, the good qualities of this archetype and the personality traits to look out for that could cause you pain and suffering in the future if it's not already causing pain and suffering already. So the Everyman Archetype, there are some telltale signs to this archetype that you will probably notice in others, yourself, or hopefully your past self. If you've successfully integrated this archetype into your conscious personality, you will benefit from its positive qualities. By the way, if you don't know what I mean by integrating archetypes into the conscious personality, watch this video, which explains what archetypes are, how they project onto the ego and take possession of the conscious personality. Now, it's important to understand that you may be conscious of an archetypal energy, but you may not necessarily know the motivation for its appearance. And when archetypes take possession of the ego, they usually cause problems. But that's not always the case, because they have good qualities as well, and the Everyman is an amiable little fella that makes you good-natured, agreeable, diplomatic and charming. All great qualities, I'm sure you will agree. But when the Everyman is not integrated, these healthy qualities appear in moments of fakery, let's say, because you have a yearning to be liked, loved and acknowledged. You become a people pleaser because you crave attention. As with all the archetypes, you have to observe the motivation behind your actions. It's quite noticeable in the Everyman, especially in your teenage years. Yeah, I know that's a struggle for some of you, me included, but dust off the cobwebs and try to recall the times you imitated somebody else because you liked what they said, or you liked something that they did, or you just thought they were cool. When you think about it, you've actually taken loads of sayings, traits and expressions from other people, and probably still do from time to time. But that's because the Everyman wants to fit in and is responsible for shaping your personality. But it also shapes your perceptions, attitudes and beliefs. Now, that can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on where and who you're getting your information from. I'll give you a prime example. On the one hand, the Everyman can help you to develop self-confidence and social competency. In doing so, you build self-esteem, you form meaningful relationships, and have healthy attachments, and create a happy and constructive environment. But this typically only happens if you are around the right people. Now, in a school setting, for example, your self-esteem can be easily dented, especially if you were a shy child like I was. Or you may have struggled to fit in because you didn't feel a connection with other people for whatever reason, often because you recognise you're different to other people. Now, this can happen even if you do make friends. I had plenty of friends, but never really felt as though I fitted in because I didn't like the things my friends liked, but I still went along with it anyway, even though I was often the butt end of jokes or even abuse. I just wanted to be liked and feel a sense of belonging, but in reality I lacked self-esteem and self-confidence. Subsequently, I had a fragile emotional state and would break like an eggshell when provoked. And that's because the Everyman personality is extremely sensitive to rejection. Now, if this also sounds like you will probably also resonate with the reason why. The wounded Everyman surfaces is because You were emotionally abandoned as a child and didn't feel a part of the family unit. Or maybe you were even physically orphaned and literally didn't know where you belonged. A child that suffers abandonment has a desperate need to be liked, and they want to be liked by everyone. In your teens and your adult years, you become a people pleaser and even pretend to like things that you don't really like and agree to do things you don't want to do, and even agree to things you don't really agree with. Now, the motivation for this is because you don't want your friends to think badly of you in case they abandon you. The everyman is afraid of being abandoned. So you agree to everything and anything because you don't want to disappoint anybody, because you're afraid that they won't want to be your friend anymore. The reason for that is because the everyman is not endowed with a positive self-image, which is why you try extra hard to be friendly and likable. The motivations for this archetype are to find a sense of belonging in a place where you feel accepted and appreciated. Of course, everyone wants to feel accepted and appreciated, but when the everyman personality is split off, trying to be likable becomes a detriment to your personal development. The eminent psychologist Carl Jung called this archetype the persona and described it as being a mask we put on in society to hide the parts of ourselves that we don't want others to see because we feel ashamed and humiliated by who we really are. What's more, to mask our feelings of inadequacy, we become status driven and pursue success, wealth, prestige, maybe even fame. Now, whilst none of these things are intrinsically bad in their own right, an unhealthy striving for success and recognition can become a problem if you deny yourself opportunities for personal growth and emotional stability in other areas of your life. So a prime example for an underdeveloped everyman personality is a workaholic. The worker that stays late in the office every night seeking recognition from their boss for their hard work. Now, that may be conscious or unconscious, but the motivation may not be the same. When it's a conscious choice, it may be because you're striving for a promotion that is available, or you have a tight deadline that you need to meet. Now, because you're conscientious and you don't want to let the team down, you're prepared to stay late several times a week. But when you're doing this all the time, when you're working late all the time, it's a symptom that the everyman energy is in an unhealthy state. You're consistently sacrificing your private life to chase status. And you're doing that because you need to feel recognised. So ask yourself, are you neglecting your family or friends and turning nights down because you're working all the time? If so, your motivation is unconscious and you are possessed by the Everyman archetype. And do you see how you are abandoning your family and friends? Don't forget that the Everyman archetype is afraid of being abandoned. When the Everyman is integrated in a healthy way, your competence shines through naturally, without you even feeling the need to impress your bosses by working late. You naturally have an attitude that is primed for success because you know how to get things done, but also recognise the importance of protecting your emotional well-being by spending quality time with family and friends. And contact with other people is important, and making healthy connections is what the Everyman excels at. Everyone likes the Everyman, and because of that you don't feel the need to have to impress them. So if the healthy traits of the Everyman sound like you, congratulations. Now hit the like button to tell me that you love yourself, and subscribe to the channel to tell me that you're worth it. You are worth it. That's why I'm here. I'm Richard Dale, and this is Mastermind Content. I'll see you for part 2, where I explain how narcissistic tendencies emerge from a wounded everyman. And you don't want to miss that, because everyone knows a narcissistic everyman. See you later.